In less than 48 hours, the Arizona Cardinals are going to be just in the shadow of Rally House, where we are broadcasting live all show long, hopefully whooping up on the Tennessee Titans. And Johnny, looks like there's going to be some offensive lineup changes.
Yeah, we're going to break it all down. Are the Arizona Cardinals poised to revamp an offense that has sputtered to start this season? Is this a must-game Sunday against the Tennessee Titans? PHNX Cardinals from Rally House starts now. Welcome in from Rally House, live in downtown Glendale. It's the PHNX Cardinals podcast, your premier #1 Arizona Cardinal podcast. Like and subscribe. Leave us a 5-star wherever you get your programming. I'm Johnny Venerable. Brack in the house. We got Noah Man. We got Emma. We got some special guests behind the scenes. We're breaking it all down for a game preview show, and couldn't be at a better spot today on a Football Friday, Bo.
I love it. Steven Jackson, Didi. We've got T. Cleary just wearing out, of course, their supporter emojis there in the chat.
Yeah.
Love to see it. Claymore Jones, Shaft, Killer Rex, Jacob, Sports Hero. The entire squad's here. They're excited because I think they feel like, hey, maybe we won't be just overwhelmed by frustration with this team come Sunday.
It's hard because we're surrounded by elite Cardinal paraphernalia here, and it wants to make me excited.
Do we have turnover chains
yes,
on right now?
It wants to make me a believer here. Pick up the most elite gear with our friends at Rally House right now. And I think it's working. I think I'm in. I think I'm bought back in. Speaking of which, our friends, buy back in right now with our friends at Bet365, the presenting sponsor on today's show. Again, download the Bet365 app. Use the bonus code PHNX365 when you sign up. Choose your offer. Find out why. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary with Bet365. I feel like this is the right place for us on a transition game for the Arizona Cardinals. It can go one of two ways. We can go into a deep, dark despair if they do not perform against the Titans, or
Sure.
I do feel like this season can start anew, albeit against maybe the worst team in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be one of those things where it's the qualifier. Like, if they win big on Sunday, it's like, well, the Titans are really bad.
Yeah.
But, like, what we saw on Monday night with the Denver Broncos, who needed a get-right performance, and they take on and smack down the lowly Bengals, even though there's no Joe Burrow. We know that defense is one of the worst in the league.
Yeah.
But we got our guy Zach Stevens and DNVR Broncos saying, boys, we're back, right? We've never been more back.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, let's take that with a grain of salt. But look, a good performance, what could it do? It would do a lot for, I think, especially this offense going forward, and especially like some things that people have been waiting to see, potentially the return of Will Hernandez into the offensive starting lineup, potentially that stuff we're going to get into obviously here. But yeah, the game day vibes, we're already feeling them. They're already at an elite level because of our friends over at Rally House. As I said, we've got the turnover chains. Look at this. Just a throwback Tillman jersey. You can't have it.
There's so many things that I want for myself selfishly.
Yeah.
And again, elite prices, elite selection here at Rally House in Glendale. And again, vibes are high, even with San Francisco frauding it up on Thursday Night Football. I see people, in the chat, Killer Rex telling me that I need to come out and apologize to San Francisco. I won't. I think it says more about the other teams in the NFC West. It makes me physically ill that Mac Jones and the Niners are 4-1. And
isn't that good though? Wasn't that best case last? As sick as it makes you to your stomach, like the Niners can't keep getting away with this, but they do. But like the better team lost last night. At least the bigger threat lost last night.
I don't know. I feel like with the Niners' schedule, I think it's troublesome for the Cardinals where they could fraud it up to 10 wins and get in. Whereas like you and I both expect the Rams to be in this till the end. The Seahawks don't look like they're going anywhere. I would just love for the Niners to be like dead so we can move past them. But here's the reality of the situation. I know it's easy to want a scoreboard watch in the NFC West or the NFC in general, looking at wild card spots, whatever. None of that matters if the Cardinals don't radically change what they've been doing. They have to start stacking wins, and it has to begin this weekend. So I'm of the mindset as much as I am frustrated by that outcome and all the love and the gross smooch fest that's going on with San Francisco, the butt kissing this morning, excuse me. I think it's irrelevant for the Cardinals right now. And I think you saw Jonathan Gannon earlier today, Bo, in Tempe. And JG's friend of this program. I think he's comfortable when he's saying this. Like, it's 100% locked in. And I think the time for talking is over. I think the Cardinals are surprised with where they're at, not a good way to begin the season. And I think it's time to get serious. And I think they will. And I love what I heard in terms of, and he was tongue-in-cheek with the Mike Leach bite. Right. But I think we're going to see dramatic changes because it's time to change. Because we've seen enough through 1 month of the season, not a good enough product offensively. If they continue to double down on it, they're going to continue to lose games, and thankfully they're too smart to do that.
Right. And look, I mean, you could tell just from how things were going in that press conference that frustrations are at a pretty high height as far as the Cardinals and their stoic head coach usually are.
Yeah.
For a team that's 2-2 with a really good chance to improve to 3-2, you can tell that they're sick of having to answer the same old questions week in and week out. And to kind of push back and say, are there going to be wholesale changes? Is there just going to be a complete flip of philosophy from a run-first team to a pass-first team? Or is it going to be high-flying and it's going to resemble Mike Leach, Cliff Kingsbury, who's a four-letter word at times around here? It's not. But are they going to kind of ditch the 12, 13 personnel and move more towards an 11 personnel and more shotgun looks? I think that's inevitable. I think it's already happened. It happened last Thursday, and I think that continues.
We're going to start a new feature on this show called Gross Charts with Johnny and Bo that's going to debut next week. And there's not a chart that we had time to throw in for today, but the Cardinals, they're the second to worst team in the NFL in pass plays over 20 yards.
Yeah. Can I answer Nick real quick? Yeah. We're at the Glendale location of Rally House, hanging out here for the entire show length. It's going to be fun. Unbelievable gear here. Like I think nuts. Every break I'm going to load up on more gear, and we're just going to be dressed up like your local tailgaters by the end of this thing.
People are asking if Bo's going to put on a jersey. I feel like that has to be like a mandate before the show's over.
The temptation's never been higher. The temptation's never been higher because they're all so fresh. Look at these.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a medium. This is probably
that's my size.
Yeah.
Is this a gift from Rally House? No one's told me that, but I feel like this is a gift for me, and I'm enjoying it. Look at this.
Let me double check. Nope, it's not.
If you've seen that, this is the state flag. It's fantastic. Yeah. This will make me temporarily forget how ass the Cardinals offense is when I look at this jersey right here. So just a phenomenal setup here at Rally House. We got a McBride for all you McBridesmaids behind Bo Brack. I mean, it's an elite level of decor and
I feel like
merchandise.
I'm on, like, the home shopping network right now. Like, but you can have this McBride jersey for the low price of
whatever you want. I feel like
you can't come and just barter with them.
That's true. It's worth it though. No, and back to this conversation around this offense. I don't know if we have the bite or not. Like,
we don't.
Gannon specifically said we're not going to be Mike Leach out there, meaning peak Texas Tech where they were always in the shotgun. But I think by saying that he's alluding to but we're the offense that you guys have come to know over the last 2.5 years, and I think a little part of JG died inside. That's the offense he wants to run. They can't run it anymore.
Right.
They have no running backs. The personnel wasn't responding to the coaching. That was an offense that was very much streamlined by Clayton Adams, who's in Dallas, flourishing. You have to lean into your personnel. And I also think, you've made the point, and I agree with it wholeheartedly. Now, I don't like the term blessing in disguise with injuries, but I've seen people run with this now. It's 100% correct. You have no choice but to go into the gun, which is Kyler Murray's strength.
Right.
It's Kyler Murray's strength. I think it's going to be Marvin Harrison Jr. and Trey McBride and Michael Wilson's benefit when he's back there operating in that aspect. I think Kyler Murray was a cog in the 12-13 personnel, and he could be a high-level one. But I don't think he was featured. I think it could be substituted for any Joe Blow quarterback, and you could be efficient with the run game from the last 2 years. This offense, if this is the last 13 games for Kyler Murray and Drew Petzing, you got to let it rip. You got to let it all fly out, and you got to let number one dictate whether or not you go to the playoffs. So we have clear clarity. It's if Kyler Murray plays well as a shotgun quarterback, this team is going to the playoffs. If he does not, we'll have a clarity as it relates to the play caller, the quarterback, and the future of this team.
Well, I mean, it should be Kyler Murray going back to the shotgun and just saying, hello, old friend, and really just kind of feeling that nostalgia that he had.
Absolutely.
Where you saw him put up the biggest numbers of his career, where he was no stranger to 300-yard passing games and multiple touchdowns. So we'll see if he can kind of get to know that old friend, or if those days have come and gone just because it's been beaten out of him. But like, that's the only option they have. I mean, as far as them running consistent and, offense that's going to be able to complement what they're doing defensively, like 6th in the NFL as far as points allowed. Like, the defense is playing well enough. If you can just generate a little bit more offense, right now offensively they're just under 19 points per game. That's not good enough. They finished last year around 23. Product. They need to get to about 25 points per game. So you're going to have to score at least another touchdown. And it's because things have been just really bad. Yeah. Like, really bad. But, for them to have to say farewell to the run game, it was like the run game and that philosophy of ground and pound and being bullish and establishing the run was a product of Jonathan Gannon wanting to create that conflict at the line of scrimmage. Get Kyler Murray underneath center and the opposing defense not knowing what this offense was likely going to do in that particular play due to the personnel issues because of James Conner being gone, Trey Benson being gone, and their ineffectiveness on the ground. The conflict just doesn't exist. It's just like when you would look at, a Cliff Kingsbury offense, you're like, they're not going to run. They're likely going to throw. Yeah. And so, if they want to, they probably don't even have to stack the box any longer. So the offense, the identity crisis, I think it's gone. And now you're just going to have to see the maturation of, can they develop into this passing first team?
And listen, I've been waiting my entire adult life for the Cardinals to develop a dominant run game, and we've had that the last 2 years. And I'm humble enough to say that it had a ceiling, and the ceiling was they still couldn't throw the ball downfield. Yeah. Like, it's not, and we've said this, and we'll continue to beat this drum, like the offensive line, the run game of the last 2 years that's non-existent now didn't suddenly open up, elongated pass plays, explosives like Gannon talked about. Like it last year in particular, they were one of the worst in the NFL in pass plays 20, 40 yards downfield. Whether you want to blame it on a quarterback or on the receivers or the play caller, whatever, it didn't work, and it carried into this year. And so they have already actually been more effective, and you've talked about it, completing 3rd and long than last year. Yeah. And so, like, there are baby steps here. But here's what you can't have. You can't be a work in progress in a season in which people expect a winning record. And that's the problem. That's the biggest problem they're facing right now. Had you taken care of business, even against the Niners, and you lost to Seattle, and you're sitting 3-1, and you can be creative, and you can roll out some things and do some unique experiments against Tennessee offensively, sure, we're going to have patience with that. When you're 2-2, firmly in last place in the NFC West, in a critical year for everybody involved, people wanting security, extensions, clarity in the offseason. I mean, right now, with where this is trending on Drew Petzing being fired and the offense being blown up in the offseason. It is up to them, starting with the head coach, to change that narrative beginning this weekend. Like, that's the only thing that matters.
Yeah. I see my wife and my son walking arods here with just hands full of clothes.
Yeah, nice.
I'm the Tiger King. Even though they have great prices out here, I'm never going to financially recover from this.
Get your super chats in now.
But it's been a storyline that has just been consistent. Yeah. Like, since they decided to run it back this offseason. And now it's just like you have been forced into this corner and you have to fight your way out of it. You have no other choice. Now let's get to this conversation about what little tweaks could be made to the offense. Yeah. We're looking at an offensive line that is also being forced into a little bit of a move. Yeah. Based on the injury report, Evan Brown was not out there today at practice. Your starting left guard was not out there. He's been solid in pass pro. He's struggled in other departments. He's been, I think, the second most penalized offensive lineman on the Arizona Cardinals line outside of Isaiah Adams. And it's all trending towards the Cardinals' flagship radio station was reporting yesterday that Will Hernandez was already expecting to see some time this week. I think that Will Hernandez is now going to be thrown into, maybe it's Miho, and maybe it's a combination of him and John Gaines, or just Will Hernandez to help you out at the guard spot. So all the people pounding the table for that, I think that's going to come to fruition on Sunday.
Yeah, listen, Will Hernandez is going to play. I don't expect him to be, like, perfect, especially going against Jeffrey Simmons. Like, that could look rough early on. Yeah. But the upside is immense, and is this the last time that we see Evan Brown for a while, pending injury? Like, I think you and I were already leaning toward, like, they have so much invested in Isaiah Adams, and I think Isaiah Adams' upside continues to be high. They're going to work and lean in on him and work through the mistakes instead of benching a third-round pick from last year over a guy who, Evan Brown's a nice player. You know, he's over 30 years old. He's on a 2-year contract, modest deal. He can be a depth piece. They clearly feel like Will Hernandez can come in here and make an impact. And, you know, John Gaines looked good in the preseason. This offensive line does not have to be world beaters this weekend. Like, and Will Hernandez is he's only been practicing for about a month.
Yeah.
Like, his conditioning wasn't great. No, I guess because he had just come off major surgery. And so it could be ugly still. But here's the thing. It's like, doesn't matter. You still need to be able to throw the football. We're going to talk about the other side of the coin. Tennessee, who is, I believe, going to be poised without several key contributors. A bunch of players questionable already for one of the worst teams in the NFL. We preview the Titans. That's coming up live from Rally House. It's PHNX. Hammer the like button for our friends at Rally House. So fired up to be here. And I want to remind everybody, Rally House is your go-to spot for all your favorite local Arizona team gears. Just in bird's eye view, I see ASU gear, I see U of A, I see Diamondback jerseys, I see Suns gear that's slowly starting to roll out as they kick off their season. Bo is putting on one of the freshest throwback hats imaginable you can get right now. I see Cardinal socks, helmets, etc. Get it right now at 3 locations, Tempe, Mesa, and of course the coup de grace, the Chef's Kiss, Glendale, across the street from the stadium. Absolutely tremendous vibes right now. Perfect time too. I'm always like, when I bring people out of town, we go to Cardinal games, or when I have family in town, they're like, I want to load up on Cardinal gear. This is the place right before kickoff. No disrespect to the team store. This is where I'm loading up right now. Every time you visit a Rally House, you're guaranteed to find something new, unique, and matches your game day vibe. Find your Rally House location right now. Shop their entire product assortment online. RallyHouse.com today. Anytime you're questioning, like, where can I get the newest, best Cardinal gear, like rivalry jerseys or whatever, this is the place, Rally House, rallyhouse.com.
I love it. You know how it's going to be kid tested? My kid's going to be dragged kicking and screaming out of here because he couldn't buy all this stuff. Yeah, he absolutely does. You know what? You deserve a great night out at, of course, one of the 4 Valley locations for Gila River Resorts and Casinos, showing you what the next level is all about. Achieve legendary status over at Gila Resorts and Casinos. No one does it better. Visit. How about Wild Horse Pass, Lone Butte, Vequiva, Santan Mountain? Experience the best the Valley has to offer. Lounge at either the AAA 4-Diamond Resorts and let relaxation take charge with unbeatable desert and mountain vibes. 4,500 slots, table games. Catch all the action in the sports book. It's elite on NFL Sunday and primetime games. Go big or go home a winner. Check them out right now. You do you. Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Visit at playathgila.com. That's playathgila.com for all the details.
Hammer that like button. Subscribe to PHNX Sports. Let's get our likes up to 500 on a Football Friday for our friends at Rally House. Fired up to be talking Cardinal ball. They've been off for 10 days leading into Sunday's matchup against the Tennessee Titans, which you had a chance to connect with part of the Tennessee media this week. Mm-hmm. And as much as we're frustrated, we're struggling here in Arizona, it's a different kind of fresh hell that the Cam Ward and company are experiencing in Tennessee.
Well, you know, Cam Ward kind of kicked off the week with his post-game comments after their 26-0 drubbing at the hands of the struggling C.J. Stroud, who's too old at 23. To have any athleticism left, according to himself.
Yeah.
And the Texans, who have struggled on offense for 2 years, he said, keeping it a buck, we're ass. That's what Cam Ward said. Yeah. So to have those vibes coming into this week, and then I talked to my guy Tyler Rowland, who is deep in the film over at Tic Tac Titans on Twitter, and I talked to him, and you're going to be able to see this video up at PHNX Sports on YouTube on Saturday.
Yeah.
But he was describing this Titans offense, and I'm like, Tyler, like, from your, analysis and kind of homework you've done on the Cardinals, are you seeing a similar vibe?
Yeah.
And he's like, actually, I have.
Oh,
like he says, like there's no creativity as far as layering the passing game, not doing anything to utilize and lean into Kyler Murray's athleticism. So that's concerning. But the Titans' struggles and woes are on a next level.
Yeah.
And that's the benefit here as far as the team coming in, and that's going to be the theme as far as this get right opportunity against this just porous Titans team, because look, they're 32nd in points scored.
Bad.
I believe they're 29th in points allowed.
Yeah.
They're just top to bottom the worst team in the NFL.
And it's not like they have good players, or like we feel like the Cardinals have good players. Like, I think the Cardinals have good players offensively, and they're underperforming. And I think that's part of the reason why we're frustrated as Cardinal fans. Like, you think back to the 2023 season with this team. And it's like, yeah, there are certain Sundays they didn't score a lot of points, and you look at the roster and like, yeah, that makes sense. Joshua Dobbs, Clayton Tune.
Right.
I mean, look at some of this personnel for Tennessee.
Oh, man.
Tony Pollard, not a great player. They have missed on complimentary backs like Tajay Spears. And then their receiving core, Calvin Ridley, who is questionable for this game, has not practiced. Alik Amore, Tyler Lockett's on this team, which I did not know. Van Jefferson. They've got Okanawu, the tight end, who's okay. J.C. Latham.
But he can't block.
He cannot. Skaronski has been a disappointment. J.C. Latham is straight up out.
The entire offensive line is a disaster class. I think Cam Ward has been sacked the most, 17 times. He's been given up the most sack yards, so that's a product of bad offensive line play and the quarterback running into it.
Yeah.
And like, who is the offensive line coach for the Titans?
His dad.
His dad, Brian Callahan's dad. So it's a sad family affair going on there in Nashville.
Yeah, the Titans defensively.
And then as far defensively up front, like there's Jeffrey Simmons.
Yeah, it's a good player.
And then that's it.
Right. Yeah.
Like there's nobody like Femi Oladejo. You mentioned of a draft pick that they reached way too early on. Mm-hmm. Like there's nobody making Arden Key.
Terrible ex-Niner. LSU product. I mean, they decided like to trade a bunch of their defensive linemen in the offseason. What's his name? Who's really productive is in New England now. Like they gutted this down, but they had to build it up quicker. And Callahan's in year 2, and they really should have just cut bait respectfully with Callahan in the offseason, brought in a new coach, and gone Cam Ward, merged with a brand new head coach. Because Callahan's not the guy. He was brought in to call plays for Will Levis last year, and then that was a disaster. And then so far this year, to give up play calling. I mean, like, as bad as the Cardinals situation is, Tennessee is worse. Is this a Monty Ossenford revenge game? You had Ron Carthon, who straight up told the Cardinals he wouldn't interview with them. Yeah. Took the Titans job. He was awful. He's already been fired, and I think he hired Brian Callahan. So we're frustrated with the Cardinals situation because they look like an average team right now. This is the worst team in the NFL. So with that being said, there's an expectation when you're playing a team like this to take care of business. Performances like we saw against Carolina and New Orleans will be an indictment of the Cardinals, even if they win on Sunday. Right. No one will be bought in if this is a final possession, fourth quarter game, or if the Cardinals allow the Titans to hang around and we're sweating this out. That you can't have that. I know it's the NFL and everybody's paid and everybody's a professional, but listen, folks, like, does anybody think right now the Cardinals are on the level of their NFC West peers watching these games right now, especially last night? It's like Cardinals need to get it going offensively. You can have lapses defensively. We know, Bo, they can clean that up given their coaching. They cannot come out and be stalwart in whatever scheme they're in, whatever formation offensively anymore. It has to stop.
I don't know. I mean, they just need it for their own benefit. I'm not too concerned about it, actually. Like, it took overtime, and they scored, 6 extra more points than the previous Thursday night game between two division rivals?
Sure.
I mean, it's 23-20. That game ends 26-23. Like, they scored 3 more points in regulation. Like, the rest of the division, like, the Niners are so down as far as personnel. Credit to Robert Saleh and Shanahan. Unbelievable coaching. But, the personnel issues. And then the Rams there's something missing. Like, Matthew Stafford's making big plays, but there's a lot of something stagnant in between.
Their defense,
and their defense isn't as playing as high a level as they were at this time last year. And then Seattle, we saw them let the Cardinals hang around. So the thing is, like, the Cardinals, just for their own benefit, need to kickstart this offense.
Right. Worry about themselves.
Because if they do, they should be able to hang us in this division. Like, we all thought, like, even Al Michaels on the broadcast thought, like, this was going to be a rout last night. And the Niners they took the early lead, they hung on for dear life, and then they made the play in overtime. Mm-hmm. Like this is a division where nobody's going anywhere. And I think, like, if you win this game, you have the same record as the Rams. They're 0-1 in the division, you're 0-2 in the division. Like, it's so early, and you've played such bad football. You just have to show signs of life. Like, this isn't going to be just a lingering issue throughout this season. But look, I understand people who are skeptical that don't believe that there's ever going to be a point where things just get right.
Well, I mean, it's a long season. We know that the Rams were 1-4 at last year at this time. So for the Arizona Cardinals, consistently staying around 500 when you enter the bye, and what we thought was going to be a rigorous second half, suddenly, I mean, like, I know the Cardinals aren't playing good football right now, but you get a beatable Atlanta team in the second half. You get a beatable, more than beatable Cincinnati Bengals team.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a bunch of divisional games that you're expecting to play well in. So I do feel like, you know, we had talked about in our preview, like the Cardinals need to go into the bye like 6-1. It's not going to happen now.
Right.
But at the same time, you know, just like last year, we thought they'd stack wins in the second half. They did not. They just need to start a trend where we know what to expect every Sunday on the good side. Because the problem is right now is even with the changes that we feel like are imminent, like most people expect the Cardinals to underperform offensively while Drew Petzing and Kyler Murray are here. They have to change that narrative. Like, I think their defense is good enough to win them games like this. We saw it was good enough to beat Carolina and New Orleans. But, man, like this offense, when is the offense going to decide, hey, we're better than this,
Right.
we're going to take the next step, we're going to take this season by the throat and run with it? Because you're seeing aggressive offensive approaches from everybody not named the Cardinals in the NFC West.
Yeah. Let's talk about some of the players that won't be available. As we mentioned, Evan Brown, right?
Yeah.
But then you've got Darius Robinson on the other side of this, dealing with a pec, and it looks like he's going to miss, you know, not just Sunday, but he's going to miss maybe a couple weeks here.
Yeah.
With that, I've got an inkling maybe a guy like Bilal Nichols is somebody that's a little bit different case than usual guys in their return to play.
Yeah.
Get a sense that he might be up on Sunday.
Yeah, I mean, at least Darius, it looks like he's not going to go on injured reserve. We were holding our collective breaths today. And so does Darius just miss a couple games and come back? I'd love to see him out there practicing again. But, again, don't force him out there. They have the depth this year. They don't have to do that. But, yeah, Bilal Nichols, I mean, I guess this is a game where you could throw him out there and let him get his licks before playing much more competent teams in Indianapolis and the Green Bay Packers.
They've elevated Anthony Goodlow the last two games.
And he's played really, really well.
He's played great.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like that's going to be the case this week.
Okay, so maybe Bilal Nichols gets a kind of a trial run here against Tennessee. But, like, you know, Anthony's played well. Like, I'm not ready to cast him aside because he's got TFL ability.
Mm-hmm.
Bilal Nichols has not had that ability since he's been an Arizona Cardinal. We'll see what he has. I'm more anxious to watch somebody like Will Johnson. It looks like he's poised to play. Yeah. I know there are people saying he may or may not play. I think the Cardinals can beat the Titans without him. I think he's going to play.
Will Johnson?
Yeah.
I really think he's going to play.
Yeah, there are people online that were saying like they're going to hold him out one more week. It's just people speculating because he didn't fully practice all week.
I saw Will Johnson during the open portion.
Yeah.
Doesn't look limited as far as just physically.
Yeah.
I know he's limited on the as far as what his participation is. I'm like 95% sure that Will Johnson's going to play.
Yeah, I mean, Will needs to play to get better. And if the Cardinals are going to count on Will Johnson when they play Jordan Love and when they play Daniel Jones and when they play Dak Prescott, like they need Will Johnson.
Right.
The secondary is playing really well. It was a commendable effort against Seattle. They need Will and Max Melton and Denzel Burke and Buda and Jalen and Taylor Demerson to be humming with this pass rush to be able to keep these games in manageable scoring opportunities for the Cardinals offense. Like until the Cardinals offense decides to join the party in 2025, you need as many defensive players as you can.
But yeah, I mean, but it's not even a matter of like you just need them to keep points off the board. It's like create turnovers, create more opportunities.
Get his hands on the football.
Get off the field. And that's one of the things the Titans offense just struggles to do is stay on the field. They're one of the worst teams as far as time of possession. They're just like 3 and out. Feels like every other drive. But Will Johnson, like with a guy like Cam Ward, who's struggling so mightily, like there's a good chance that him or another, corner has a chance to get their hands on a football this week and create that opportunity, create that short field that would benefit an offense that struggled as much as the Cardinals. And the one positive from Will Johnson being out is what have we learned? Like, I really like what I've seen from Keitrell Clark.
He's been excellent. Yeah.
Like, you like the competitiveness from Denzel Burke. Like, I feel way more comfortable now than I did post-training camp when you're like, who's going to be the third rotational corner?
We just feel great about how that unit's being coached. You feel great about that unit's ability to supplement on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we bang on the offense a lot because it's warranted, and I think it goes without saying, like, This offense right now, I have very little faith, and they have all their players for the most part. Whereas this defense, they could roll out like 20 different combinations, and you'd feel pretty good about it. You also feel pretty good. The Titans have, by the looks of this, 3 offensive touchdowns this year. They have 2 passing touchdowns by Cam Ward, who's got, by the way, 51% completion, atrocious, 4.9 yards per completion. And then Tony Pollard has 1 rushing touchdown. So, I mean, it's a team that scored 21 offensive points but via touchdowns this year. I mean, it's really bad. They didn't score last week against Houston. So, like, theoretically, like, here's the 2 schools of thought. The Cardinals could go ultra-conservative and win this game, which is the wrong mindset, Jonathan Gannon. Or this is the week, like, air it out, throw down field, get creative, try some new stuff, because your defense ought to be able to turn around and keep them out of the end zone. Like, they're not good enough. You're going to be able to throw a lot of exotic looks at Cam Ward if you're Nick Rallis. Like, this is the definition of a get-right game. And we thought that they started the year with 2 of those, and they did, and they fumbled those opportunities to really feel good about what they – I mean, but, like, goes back to training camp. We watched them, and they had a carryover effect from the preseason. Nobody can argue now it didn't. They did not look great offensively. They could not put the ball in the end zone. This first-team offense – They turned the football over in that first preseason game against Kansas City. They drove down that second drive. They had to kick a field goal. We watched them against Denver in joint practices. They were good between the 20s. They could not finish. They have to finish in the end zone. We got to get to a point where, like, especially with no James Conner, Bo, like, what do the Cardinals do well in the red zone now? Well, they need to go to 85 and 18 until it stops working. They need to go back shoulder fades. They need to go slant routes to Marv. Like those same plays.
I don't want to see the back shoulder fade.
Well, whatever he did, Moss and Devin Witherspoon, that looked good. So you don't have a big power back that you can rely on, and that was really your only offense under Petzing that worked inside the red zone.
Which direction are the Cardinals going to go at running back? It's been the big topic of conversation because it involves people trying to make fantasy football decisions. We're going to give you our take on which direction the Cardinals go as far as their backfield. That's all coming up next. PHNX Cardinals live from Rally House.
Perfect combination this weekend. Our friends at Pure Edibles, Cardinal game, taking in some Rally House vibes here. Pure gummies from Pure Edibles, not just covered in sugar like all their candy competitors. Full-fledged candy company offering gummies, kicks, their version of Starburst, as Bo's dropping jerseys to the left of me. Pure effects are clearly listed on each tin so you know exactly what you're getting. And they offer sleep support as well as candies with uplifting effects derived from unique cannabinoids such as CBN, CBD, CBG with marijuana-derived THC. They're designed to be ripped in half and bit like a marketing, easily shareable, or to dial in your exact dosage. Yeah, your foam finger plus Pure Edibles, great combination. Again, if you're in Arizona, swing by their local dispensary, grab your Tower Station AIO from Noble Road. They've got this Noble Road new Tower Station IPA all in one. It's fantastic. Pure Edibles plus an IPA flavor, absolutely. Go find yourself some Pure Edibles right now from one of their over 130 dispensaries across Arizona. They're a factory for edibles. It's Pure Edibles.
Look at this. It says #1 fan. It says Arizona Cardinals here, but that's been a little bit trying the last couple of weeks. I want this to be changed to Circle K.
Yeah.
I'm Circle K's #1 fan because of the Inner Circle, the free membership program that saves me on gas. That's right, 25 cents per gallon at the pump on your first 5 fill-ups, then 3 cents per gallon after that. Every fill-up, 5 cents. You got 10-cent echelons. It's unbelievable, and it's free. And, of course, you got America's Thirst Shop. I was just in there today. I'm in there on a daily basis hitting up Circle K. I'm hitting them up for chips. I'm hitting them up for coffee. I'm hitting them up for Polar Pops and meal deals. $3, $4, $5. Circle K is hooking you up and giving you the best opportunity to maximize what you're doing at the gas station, at the convenience store, and as far as just getting your bang for the buck. Download the Circle K app today. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for all the details. #1, Johnny.
You're last. You're not #1. I'm #1. You guys are #1. Hit that like button. Subscribe to PHNX Sports. We've got game predictions. We've got player of the games around the corner. And we've got Elite Vibes here with our friends at Rally House. All the goodies. Yeah. It's like Christmas morning for your boys. It's like this is Christmas Eve, and then Christmas morning would be a Cardinals win, and not only a win, but a competent one. But they are going to have to run the ball at some point, and we know it's going to be Amari DiMercato, it's going to be Michael Carter, and Bam Knight, who looked good in training camp and made this roster over Michael Carter. Your best guess for the fantasy football sickos out there. I hate to use the term scraping the bottom of the barrel because I think all these guys are competent. I think all these guys can play. But I also do think, Bo, and you tell me how you think this is going to go down, I think it's going to be a shared workload.
I agree. I think because there's the clip that's gone a little crazy on social media of Michael Carter, and we've got it up. You can find him talking about it on our YouTube page, where he says, it's crazy. I went from being the Pat Tillman practice player of the week, the scout team, being on the practice squad, to starting. Yeah. And people are like, oh, he said he's starting. He's starting. Did he drop the ball? Was he not supposed to say that? But I agree. I think it doesn't matter. It's like who's going to be playing at rotational pass rushers. Yeah. Like there's going to be enough snaps to go around. I envision like DeMercado and Michael Carter getting at least 10 touches each. Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think it's going to be like, hey, you're the new James Conner, you're new Trey Benson. Well, you're the bell cow of this offense now. I just don't. And I give the edge. Like, if you're fantasy football, like, I would go with Amari just because of his size around the goal line. Yeah, I think he's got a better chance to score. Does anybody know how many carries Trey Benson had last week? Because Kyler Murray led the team in rushing against Seattle. Trey Benson, as I'm pulling up the box score, 8 carries for 35 yards, 4.84 yards per clip, and caught a couple passes, 5 catches for just under 20 yards. Like, I thought he looked good. But again, I think like that game dictated the fact the Cardinals had to throw, but they were also not in 12-13 personnel. I think it's going to be 5 to 7 rushes from Kyler Murray, 7 to 9 touches from DeMercado. Same thing with Michael Carter. Like, I think that you're going to get a run game by committee. It's not going to be polished. It's not going to be perfect. And I don't give a damn because I don't think it's predicated on this team winning or losing. Like, you can't be one-dimensional. And but here's the problem with that. And I feel like, and I love JG, it goes like to the extreme of like, we have to be able to run the football for balance, but you've never balanced that with throwing the football downfield. Mm-hmm. Like I watched Seattle last week and they're throwing for 250 and they're being able to delegate and then they run for 150 on the ground, right? Like, do that. But they've always historically under Drew Petzing, it's like, well, we rushed for 230 yards. It's like, but you threw for 175 and you did that against bad teams. So it's like when you play good teams, you can't throw then. Like the run game is a complementary piece. Right. Like, what dominant team in today's NFL is solely just leaning on their run game? Like, people say Baltimore, that's not their offense anymore. They fired Greg Roman. Right. What about the Chargers? Nope, they've elevated. They've added pieces. They throw the football and have the best explosive passing plays downfield better than anybody in the NFL. The Detroit Lions evolved with Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jamison Williams and Sam Laporta. It's like the Cardinals were playing an offensive scheme historically under Drew Petzing that's just not done by other NFL teams. Like, it reminded me of Philly. Yeah, but Jalen is an anomaly because of his abilities to be a power runner. I agree. Cardinals don't have that. The Cardinals offense has reminded me of a college team, like an Iowa. Mm-hmm. Honestly, this is like, oh, they have to pass now. This is going to be ugly. That's an extreme example, but find me another example of a team in the NFL. It's like they can only win by running the football. Right. No, you're hard pressed to find it. And Baltimore has certainly changed their identity. And that's what we keep talking about is the identity crisis that they face when you talk about the ineffectiveness to start the season with the run game. Like, it was overdue to make that pivot. You just aren't geared up just with your personnel, your scheme, what your offensive line coach is doing. Like, pass pro seems to be the way. And they were just far too reluctant and dug in and stubborn to make that change. Yeah. Like, it has to be like you start this game off and you're going to rely on your guys on the outside. You're going to rely on Trey McBride to get you your points. And then if you want to salt the clock away and try to play that game in the second half, I know people don't like to hear that, but it's going to be what's going to be attempted by this coaching staff. People are asking if I just took a selfie. No, my 10-year-old son is here. And he is just housing some Wetzel's Pretzels off air. Big thanks to Miss Haley, Bo's wife, who I'm sure Hudson frauded his way to get some pretzel bites on the broadcast. So we're having a blast here at Rally House. Big thanks to everybody who's come out, all the supporters and everybody here in the Glendale location. But back to this conversation, I do think that
I want them to trade for a back. I want them to be in a position where it's like, yeah, upgrade that. Get some more juice there. Like, it's not going to solve all their problems right now. It's not going to solve their problems the next couple of weeks. Like, the team that they built, the emphasis of what they wanted to be, that's over with. And, like, I do think that Jonathan Gannon is sad about that. I haven't talked to Gannon or people close to him, but you can just tell, like, they're going to have to evolve, and it's going to be the best thing for them. I honestly believe that, because the way they were trending, and nobody wants to sit here and say, like, we're a worse team because we lost a coach, but they are. And it's an indictment of Drew Petzing. Like, there are people, the Kyler Murray detractors out there, that have put this firmly on him. And listen, the way this is trending right now with the lack of wins and high explosives, like, you might get your wish and he could be gone. But, like, just ask yourself this. It's like they were a tremendously well-coached team up front, and they could run it on anybody. And now they are one of the worst in the NFL. It's like, that's a coaching problem. Like, that's not a Kyler Murray thing. That's Isaiah Adams played well at the end of last year. They've got their entire offensive line has been healthy up until this point. I think that's tough when you have to look in the mirror and say, like, yeah, Justin Fry isn't as good as Clayton Adams right now, and Drew hasn't been able to evolve. No coach wants to be able to admit that, and it's up to them to correct it, because the players are the same. It's the same group of guys.
Yeah. What do we think is going to happen in the game on Sunday? We're going to get into our full predictions. Our key players first, who we think is going to stand out for the Arizona Cardinals, who's going to make the biggest impact. Maybe we have some running backs involved, and that can help make your decision come fantasy football time. It's all coming up next. Of course, PHNX Cardinals hanging out live at Rally House.
Big thanks to all of our presenting sponsors today, including our friends at Zen Leaf Dispensary. Man, we need to chill out right now. Diamondbacks out of the postseason race. Suns, they've already got some key injuries here before the regular season. The Cardinals season is on the brink. So if you're gearing up for game day or you're winding down after a hike, check out our friends at Zen Leaf Dispensary. They're your go-to spot for cannabis, flowers, vapes, and more, all from the brands you trust, located across the valley. That's what I love about our sponsors. They're staples around the valley. Everybody knows them because of the quality of their work. Chandler, Gilbert, North Phoenix, and more. Check them out right now for limited time only. Use the bonus code ZEN, Z-E-N, PHNX for 50% off. That's right, 50% off just for listening right now. You can check out the link in the description below. One of their 8 Valley locations. They're the go-to place for exactly what you need. Your weed needs, if you're a first-timer, if you need an acumen, an upscale, they're there to help you so you know exactly what you're taking, exactly what you're getting. Don't forget, for a limited time only, promo code ZEN, ZEN, PHNX, 50% off, one-time purchase. Zen Leaf, great weed, great service every time.
Cardinals, 7.5-point favorites at home against the Titans, according to our friends over at Bet365. Also some great prop bets in that game. Johnny's going to be hooking you up with his 3 favorite bets of the week. Look for that on our socials at PHNX Sports, at PHNX_Cardinals as well. But it's Bet365, 90 million users worldwide. Bet365's live stream, 780,000 events each year. Early payouts across the NHL, the NBA. Bet365 pioneered live game in betting. Actually, that's primarily how I make my money on Bet365. You should do it too. Download the Bet365 app today. Get $200 in bonus bets as a new customer when you bet $5. Win or lose. Sign up today. Use the code PHNX365. Deposit $10 and place a bet for $5 to get $200 in bonus bets. If your bet wins or loses, bonus bets can be used on spread, totals, player props, futures, and more. Whatever the moment, it never is ordinary at Bet365. Must be 21 plus and physically located in Arizona. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem or wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP and text NEXT-STEP to 53342 or visit problemgambling.az.gov.
Somebody asked me earlier today, like, what's going to be the reaction if the Cardinals were to lose this game? And I think I don't want to live in that reality. And we're going to have a robust coverage, pregame, halftime, postgame. Myself, Britton Golden, Bo's going to be at the stadium crushing it. Noah, man.
Maybe.
And,
if they lose it, we're pulling what those Panthers podcasters did and just quitting. Did you see that?
I did, but you can educate our audience here.
There was a Carolina Panthers podcast that put up a post yesterday. They opened up the Notes app and just wrote this long, hilarious reason of, like, we can't spend 6 to 7 hours of our day on Sunday just breaking down a 43-13 loss.
Yeah.
Like, it's not fun anymore for us. And, like, a loss to the Titans would be a step in that direction.
I would never quit.
I wouldn't either.
I'm all in. PHNX Cardinals is all in. And again, remember this, though, is like, if they lose on Sunday, this is the kind of podcast that you can come and watch and share your voice, and we're not going to sugarcoat things for you either. We understand and are very transparent of the timeline the Cardinals are on. I consumed irresponsibly another local media affiliate this week that said, in not so many words, that, well, this season's not really about like how many wins the Cardinals have. And it's a prominent one. And I couldn't believe that. And I think to myself, like,
who said that?
Listen, I think you know, I love Jonathan Gannon as much as the next guy. I want him to continue to be the coach here. We have certainly want him back on our program in the offseason, but like, if the Cardinals underperform greatly this year, like, there will be dramatic changes. You're not evergreened in the NFL to have security at any level. And Jonathan Gannon knows that. Every time we talked to him in the offseason, he would tell us, we got to have more wins. We need a winning record. We need to go to the playoffs. We need to win the NFC West. Like, they're not here for vibes. Like, we understood the last 2 years, no pun intended, they weren't playing with a full deck. Like, for people in this market, on outlets that you know, saying, well, this year's not really about, like, total wins. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? You got Mac Jones, who's winning games at will for San Francisco. And I think the toughest part about this right now, Bo, is you have the talent. We feel like they have superior talent in San Francisco, certainly, and you're not winning these games. And that does come back to coaching. Like, we need to see the Cardinals. What I loved about Gannon last year and his staff is you did feel like you had a coaching advantage.
Sure.
Week 2 against the Rams, boat race them, sweeping San Francisco. And you thought, okay, personnel upgrades, build off of this. I no longer feel confident that the Cardinals as an offensive staff can outcoach anybody until I see dramatic changes.
Right.
Players be damned. Put the players off to the side for a second. This is a coaching league. When Mac Jones and Kendrick Bourne are going off against a dominant team like the LA Rams on Thursday Night Football on the road, it's like the Cardinals don't have that right now.
No, a testament to the Niners and an indictment on the Cardinals.
Yeah.
I think that's the direction those are going, and it's really unfortunate. And like, you look at the offense, and they don't have, as far as the offensive brain power, because of the exit of Clayton Adams. Yeah. There was a lot of confidence in Justin Fry coming from Ohio State winning a national championship.
Yeah.
But as far as the gap between top collegiate level and the NFL appears to be a little bit wider than people anticipated.
Yeah.
And for that not to be there for Drew to lean on, and it takes away from what their strength was, it puts you way behind. But that doesn't make it up an excuse of why you're way behind in the passing game, and why, why you still have misfires as far as from Marvin Harrison or Kyler Murray to Marvin Harrison Jr., like why you're not on the same page, and why the passing concepts still look pretty pedestrian, right? That, like, you need to have it evolved in different spots in year 3. And I think that's where the biggest frustration is for the fan base, and why they feel like they've lost some confidence in their coaching staff that they felt very confident about. Like, I've seen a lot of anti-JG stuff that we haven't previously seen. There was like full-fledged confidence because of the direction, the culture change that we've seen, and the ability to hang each and every game. But now it's like you have a roster in place that people have confidence in, but now what people deemed as feisty and hanging in there and scratching and clawing is underperforming.
Well, and this happens in any walk of life, like when the production is not there, the product, and this happened to Bill Belichick, then everybody dissects everything you say. And right now, Jonathan Gannon is feeling heat from this fan base with comments at press conferences supporting Drew Petzing, and then comments about injury timelines. Like, people turn cynical real quick, and that's unfortunate. And the only thing that can, and JG knows this, that can remedy that is what? You win games.
Right.
Like, people aren't going to freak out. Like, he made a comment today about B.J. Ojulari and just like hypotheticals, and Teo Mackey of AZ Central asked if he was going to be back this year, and you were there, and he was very JG-like, non-committal. And then same thing with Walter Nolan. We don't have a firm timeline on that. That timeline's been, let's just face it, an unmitigated disaster. And people are tired of that. And I understand that. But at the same time, it's like they're not playing this weekend. And I'm sure they're focusing on the guys that are ready to play this weekend. So I don't know. It's a tough
the
look.
tolerance for that has gone way down.
Yeah. Nobody has any for it.
And they want answers. They want accountability.
Yeah.
And they're not getting the answers that they want.
Yeah.
And that's when you go against the grain that hard and you're not winning, like, people they get pissed off, and understandably so. I understand that.
Especially like you're losing games in the division. That's like the Cardinals sin. Like, I mean, losing games is bad enough. Losing to Sam Darnold and Mac Jones, people are going to be pissed off about that. Let's get into our game previews. I will kick things off here from Rally House. How do the Arizona Cardinals get it done? Who do they lean on this weekend? This is the kiss of death, I'm sure. Offensively, I'm going with one Marvin Harrison Jr. I think what is going to happen is I think he's going to build off of his performance in the second half on Thursday Night Football against the Seattle Seahawks. I think it's the perfect opportunity for him to start anew. I saw Marv in those presser clips, locker room clips, look just relieved. And I think, big smile on his face. And I think he knows now, like, this offense has a chance to run through him, especially with the run game being astray. If it's not going to happen now, I don't know if it'll ever happen. And this is the perfect chance. I've been using this term, like, respectfully, Cardinal fans and Titan fans are going to watch this game. It's going to be buried in the afternoon window. Perfect chance for Marv to just come out and put on a show. I think he's going to have, like, 10 catches, 120, a touchdown, and then they're going to be able to build off of that. I don't know if Marv is ready for prime time again yet, but I do think he's ready to take the baton from this run game. I think it starts this weekend. I really do.
Love to see that. I like all your choices. Actually, two of the three choices I wanted to take, in MHJ and Greg Dortch, but you stole him. You had him plugged in
I'm
first.
a dirty dog.
Yeah,
Greg Dortch has got a yak ability right now that nobody else, frankly, possesses in this receiving core. I thought he looked great underneath routes. Greg is always underutilized, always underrated, and I think Greg is also a benefactor of these injuries to James and Trey. And then defensively, Bo Brock's telling me Will Johnson's going to play, then I think Will Johnson's going to have a major impact on this game. We saw the impact he had against Carolina and the New Orleans Saints, putting Chris Olave in a body bag. Like, give me that. Give me. You've got Calvin Ridley, who's old and washed and injured, against Will Johnson this week. Like, sign me up for that. That is a mismatch for the Cardinals in the umpteenth degree. I'm going with young star players for AZ. They got to have it.
It'd be great. It'd be a great little message to send. Like, both your premier players on each side of the football having banner games, and then a guy like Greg Dortch, who I think we saw flash on Thursday night in the comeback. You like to see him kind of continue and have that role, making plays with the ball in his hand. Let's get to mine here, Noah, if you don't mind. I'm going to go Trey McBride, Mr. Chalk, myself. Yeah, I'm going to go with the playmaking tight end for the Arizona Cardinals. He's been solid. He's been also too quiet. I need a big Trey McBride performance. Yeah, I really do. Nothing says either way. Like, the Titans give up, big time plays to the wide receivers more so than the tight ends, but they haven't faced a guy like Trey McBride this season. So
overdue, and he got it going. He and Marv, they need 10 plus targets apiece. That's it. That's not an ask. That's not a request. It's a mandate.
Right. And I was talking to some other Cardinals reporters today. We were having this debate, like, Marv, Trey, the double-digit targets for each, but you got to get everybody else involved. I'm like, no. Feed them.
I don't care
Feed those
about
guys.
Yeah.
Score points. Let's see it.
And then there'll be other things that open for Greg and Michael Wilson.
Exactly. And Zay Jones. And then let's keep it going defensively. Like this, we talked about this offensive line stinks for the Titans. Josh Sweat, I like any of the pass rushers on Sunday. I think it's more going to be one up front than it is in the secondary. Give me Sweaty J getting to the quarterback, maybe once, maybe twice. Love to see it. Number 10 for the Cardinals, their big free agent acquisition. And then we talked about him a little bit. Mari DeMercado, I got him as my X factor. I think he's going to be the back that maybe finds the end zone of the guys in the backfield more so than anybody and steadies it as far as he's there at pass pro. He's the guy that's been on this roster for the last 3 seasons. And in the system, I think he's more well-versed to have the game for the backfield than Michael Carter.
Yeah, an honorable mention, get Calais in his hyperbaric chamber ready to go for the Titans game. Calais just not practicing today.
Yeah.
You absolutely love to see
Every
that.
Friday.
Yep. Noah, man, what do you got for us?
Well, on offense here, I got our boy Yelda Frohold because Jeffrey Simmons scares the hell out of me.
Yeah, he's scary.
And Kyler Murray in his presser the other day said that he doesn't like interior defensive linemen coming at him, and so somebody's going to have to stop him. And Isaiah Adams and Evan Brown have not done a great job. So, Yelda, please save us.
Save us, Yelda.
Fro, he was at the Jonas Brothers concert. You think that gives any boost? Earlier this week?
Oh, for sure, without a doubt.
Little Joe Bro boost?
Little Joe Bro. Defense, Baron
Frobo.
Browning here.
Yeah. All right.
You took Josh Sweat. I took Baron Browning. I think they're going to get a lot of sacks this game. Cam Ward, rookie quarterback, going to hold on to the ball too long. Offensive line isn't great. Let's see like a 6 sacks performance from the team. Not him specifically, but the team.
Very reminiscent. Last time they took on the Titans to open up the season 2021. Remember that 5-sack performance from Chandler Jones? Love to see one of those.
Then finally we got Michael Carter here, X Factor. I like his game. I like the way he runs. I like his shiftiness. Yep. He has a lot of patience too. I think Trey Benson sometimes wants to bounce it on the outside when it's not there. I think Michael Carter has a little bit better vision for that kind of thing. So I'm excited.
Let's jump into our score predictions. And hopefully this is not another kiss of death here for your boys. We're going robust. Double-digit wins for all three of us. Bo and I are both thinking that Tennessee's scoring under 14 points. I initially had 30, and then I scaled it back. I do think the Cardinals' defense is going to give them some short fields. I do think there could be some takeaways, Bo. You're optimistic that this new-look Cardinal offense can get it done.
It's more so the Titans can't.
Okay.
I've just been looking at, how lopsided their 2025 schedule has been. Most recently, 26-0. How putrid this offense has been. How the vibes are at an all-time low.
Yeah.
How Brian Callahan is basically on his way out the door, 1 foot out the door. I think that's the Cardinals. They could just. It's almost one of those you can show up and win the game on Sunday. I've got them 31-13. I know that's probably bad juju, but give me the Cardinals and finally a decent performance.
Who is Phil? Can I ask who Phil is?
That is my crested gecko. I didn't have a good score prediction, so I had to ask him before I left.
You're a big amphibian guy. Is that an amphibian or a reptile?
That's a reptile.
You're a big reptile guy.
Not really, but Phil's cool. He's chill.
He's a cool guy?
Yeah, he's chill as hell.
All right. At this point, he's badgered me enough. I'm going to welcome my young son onto the broadcast here. He is asking to come on, give his...
geckos are getting the take on this. Might as well give Huddy the GOAT one.
My 10-year-old son, Hudson Venerable, joining the show, and he said he wanted to rip some takes.
Okay.
Hudson, what do you want to say to the people?
The Cardinals need to get on a winning streak. Like, we can't not score 20 points and beat the Seahawks. Like, that just won't work.
What do you think the key is for this game?
Trey McBride.
Trey McBride?
Yeah.
You're going with Bo?
Smart man.
Yeah. What about Marv? He's repping, for those of you who can't see him at home, he's repping his number 18 jersey. He's got a flat bill Cardinal hat. He's ready to have his heart broken again.
Yeah.
We watch these games. Dad's working on Sundays, and his poor mom has to endure, the Sunday afternoon Cardinal games, and he just looks there. He goes, "Mom, when are we going to be good again?"
Right.
Like the Rams game from last year, and then the Trey bounced it off his helmet, and then it gets picked like that. I don't want to see that.
He's been scarred
Clean
enough.
up the mistakes, right?
He's been scarred enough with this team. We need to start a fret. This is how you're going to win the youth of America, Cardinals.
Johnny, why don't you take off, man? Huddy's doing great.
Huddy, come over here. Take my headset.
we finally got it done to where Johnny's left the show. We finally found a better replacement. There we go. You got it on backwards there. It's something your dad would do. But look at the new look PHNX Cardinals. I've got my 4-year-old over there. Maybe we should just replace me with him.
We need Gray on the mic.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody gave you a mic again?
They did.
No, we fired you.
How are the pretzel Hudson? How are the pretzel bites here?
They're good.
They were good.
We're getting into overtime, right? This is OT here on PHNX Cardinals. We're starting a new day. Are the Cardinals going to start a new day on Sunday? We're certainly doing one on the podcast with Bo and his 11-year-old co-host.
He's 10.
Okay.
Here, let's get some super chats in here. I'm going to throw them to Huddy the Goat and Bo Brack here. We've got Traquan, $10. Thanks so much, Traquan. Watching the Cardinals continuously play like crap. I'm tired of this grandpa. That's too damn bad. Wow. Who's grandpa? Not your grandpa, Huddy. Which grandpa are we talking about, Traquan?
I think he's just yelling this.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's just him in a future game yelling this at his television. By the way, if we can get at least one supporter, I'll throw a jersey on. But if that doesn't happen, I'm not going to be wearing one.
I respect that. Brandon Hunter, $10. Flying in from Canada. Watch my first Cards game this weekend. Outstanding. Offense will redeem themselves. Thanks, Johnny Bo and the PHNX team for making our hard Cardinals day a little less depressing.
Oh, well, thank you, Brandon. We appreciate that. We're glad we can kind of pick things up when they're down. Dad's drinking again. Johnny, ATP, you're a jinx. You need to stop the prematurely ending team season.
Never. How do we do it in our household, Hudson? We root for teams' demise, correct?
Yeah.
We root for other teams to fail. We don't root for injuries, but we root for other teams to fail. I will never give credit.
Like the Rams game last night, and then the Rams ended up blowing it.
Yeah.
Hudson, you're a natural man. Who's your biggest fraud right now in the NFL?
I'm gonna have to go Titans.
Titans.
All right.
This
I like
weekend.
That.
He was hard on Danny Dimes last year in the playoff game we went to.
And then he went to the Colts.
That could come back to bite us, Hudson. I'm a little concerned about that next weekend. We'll get to that, though. Dana R. Ballnor just stopped the 33% of the passes behind the line of scrimmage, please.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as far as the offense goes, that's what Dana Ballnor wants to see from this offense as they have to change their ways. Romy.
Kyler will thrive in the spread portion of the offense this week. Hopefully the Titans defense has to play pass, but also Kyler's legs as well. Go Cards. I mean, it's a great point. It's the biggest point right now where you felt like Kyler Murray wants to run more. He told us on our podcast back in the spring. And you feel like with the run-heavy 12, 13 personnel under center, there aren't as many design runs that you can operate with that.
Right. You're going to have to add a couple of those to the mix. And now, just because you're so down big in the running game, it's imperative. You've seen, I think, each and every week a big run from Kyler Murray. You need to see maybe two of those come Sunday for this offense to be able to move the ball. Is it Alphonse?
Back to back. Why is everything a secret, Bo, with the injuries? What's actually wrong with Williams' knee? How long? BJ, it's been over a year. Rumor he may not play this year. Do you think BJ Ojulari plays this year?
I do.
Yeah,
I do. I think he's close to having his practice window open. Same thing with Walter Nolan.
I wrote the next super chat.
You gonna read it?
You're gonna read it? All right, go ahead.
We got $4.99 from Alphonse. After watching Thursday Night Football, we are not on that level. Made me realize we are defeating the worst in the division. Watching those offenses and Drew not fired yet is a sin.
Yeah, definitely the worst in the division. What do you?
Way better reader than both of us.
He is. He reads it at advanced level, even though I catch him reading books that he should not be reading. But yeah, he's a chapter book guy at home.
We need Kyler and Marv to read defense as well on Sunday and put up some points. You know what? Like I said, the rest of the division isn't blowing me away. Like, I don't think it's like watching Buffalo run offense or Detroit run offense where they're this next level. But the biggest issue is the Cardinals themselves.
But do you have confidence that this coaching staff can correct it? Because I agree with you. The division is vulnerable right now.
It's about as low as possible. It's about as low.
That's worse.
Yeah,
yes.
That's worse.
But I'm not watching the Rams and the Niners, and I'm like, oh my God, look at what they're doing.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm so down on this coaching staff offensively. And it's not, I have nothing against Drew or Drew Terrell as people, but it's like, you got to give me something. We got nothing. Rome, we want to see Bam Knight. Do you think Bam Knight gets carries this weekend, Bo?
I think he's active. Yeah, I think he'll get maybe a series or two.
Okay.
Let's do it. You want to get over here? You want to run this show with your son? A little father-son action? I'll be on the side?
You're good.
Okay.
You're good.
Darth Vader, super chat, $5.
Look at him. He keeps the show going
They
when we're
asked the Cardinals
slowing things down. Go ahead.
In a zombie apocalypse. I'm curious what your guys' answer would
Who would you
be.
pick?
Who would you pick?
If they asked the Cardinals who they would want in a zombie apocalypse, like as far as a buddy?
Yeah, like down in your bunker.
Who do you got, Hetty?
I got. That's a hard question.
I'm gonna go with Froholt.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think if he needed to maybe take out some zombies with his bare hands, he's capable of doing that.
Calais feels like an easy choice.
Paris
as well.
would be good. Yeah. You got one?
Yeah. Super chat $2 from Jenga64. Gonna Johnny chug the pain away if we lose this one.
You chug Capri Suns though, right?
That's Frankie.
Oh, okay. You like to chug Cokes now, and
yeah.
He's big on pops right now, which is bad. It's bad for your boy.
Have you seen Mom?
Yeah, Mom throws back Cokes pretty hard as
when we're
well.
at Grandma's, she just like
She threw it back.
Yeah.
Honey, I'm going to read this one just because there's a kind of a curse word in it, okay?
Okay.
Cam Ward just said the Cards offense is ASS.
I don't think
You've never heard that word before, right?
I've heard it.
Oh, man.
We need to change the parental controls on Netflix, Dad. We gotta change the password
This
again.
video is going to not get monetized on YouTube now as a result. Boo Wanaki, our friend from Canada, $5. JG's thoughts watching San Francisco, LA on offense on Thursday night. We don't need that kind of offense. I think there was a point in this offseason where they thought they could win a certain way, and I do believe, Bo, and you can give us your opinion, like based on his comments today, like this offense is not going to be the same.
Mm-hmm.
This offense has changed. They can't run 12, 13 personnel. Like it's tough for somebody like Tip Ryman, who it's like he played a lot, and I think he's going to see his playing time dramatically go down as a result.
How about Dad's drinking again? $4.99. Anyone who owns a reptile shouldn't be trusted. Johnny, you raised a ball knower. He's talking about you. Yeah, and then he's talking about Noah too. He's a weird reptile guy.
Sports Hero super chat.
Hold on. We got to get the sorry to interrupt so rudely, but we've got to get the likes also to at least we got to get them up towards 200 for the show overall, but over 100 before I don anything that looks like a jersey in here.
Wow, that is true. I mean, it's like if I'm chugging for supporters, Bo can at least put on a jersey for 100 likes. All right, Hudson, finish this off.
Super chat, $2 from Sports Hero. Why is Johnny and his son the same size? Weird.
Wow.
Well, Huddy, you're like 6'1", so
I am.
Yeah, easily.
Throw that back on. All right, I'm kicking you off. That's hurtful.
Nice job, Huddy the GOAT. His PHNX Cardinals debut crushed it. I think he should probably stay. I think he Wally pipped his dad.
He did not.
It took Sports Hero with a.
He's got homework. He's been on fall break for what feels like a year. What's going on with these Gilbert schools? Get him back in.
Owen just crushing it with the supporters emojis. That looks great. What do we got? Yeah, Alex Kim just became a member.
Thank you,
Unbelievable. Alex. And we're 10 likes short of 100. 9 likes.
Appreciate that. You guys are crushing it in the chat right now. Brian became a member. Brian, a staple of our community. Brian, we appreciate you, my friend. Man, this community is growing every day, especially here on YouTube as we continue on our way to 50K. We had one of the biggest months in the history of this company in September, and it was because of this community, specifically PHNX Cardinals. You guys are absolutely crushing it. It's frustrating because we get mad, we get angry when this team doesn't perform because we live it and die it every day with you guys. And so we know this community is strong, and it's due time that the Cardinals repaid this community right here. As Bo's lovely wife copying a MHJ jersey for Bo to throw on, which I feel like is mandatory as we approach. We're going to get to 100 likes here. This is a meaningful a moment here on the show. I've never seen Bo don a jersey.
What if I were to just go draft pick status and just say, hey, look at this one?
No, that's loser status. You need to throw that on. If you don't, then Marv will not have a good game this weekend. This could be the changing point of this offense. We're going to slay some demons here on PHNX Cardinals. Bo, for the first time since I've known him, is going to don an adult male jersey here at Rally House in Glendale, where the vibes are absolutely electric. That looks fantastic. That looks great.
It does great. It does look great.
That looks greght.
I didn't think it was going to – I thought it was going to swim in it a little bit more, but Rally House has the best fits.
Yes.
Look at this.
That could change everything. If this Cardinal season changes now, it's because of that moment right here.
Look at that.
You deserve it.
I'm
Absolutely.
a changed man.
You are. Absolutely.
Am I now going to become Jersey guy where I just wear it every day?
You should go up to Marv in a press conference and be like, hey, Marv, I bought your jersey. And you just pull it's underneath your sweater. Marv would probably be really into that.
Did we get to Brian P. here?
I don't think so.
He said, Bo, if there was a new member, you'd do it. We hit that. This feels like Drew Petzing interview. Hey, come on. Look. It probably came off a little desperate, too. Yeah, no. I get that. Brian P., well, I paid it off. Master Fat Gangster says Jersey Bo is on the up and up.
It is.
I'm on the rise.
This is a big step.
What do we think?
If Bo can change, Drew Petzing can change.
What's the stat line that I have to wear this jersey again?
For Marv?
Yeah.
I think if he goes over 150, I think you're wearing that. I think Marv is like 150 and at least a touchdown.
Okay, so you're buying me this jersey.
Well, I haven't said that. I think I kind of heard like we could just take whatever we wanted. I feel like that's still in play.
Yeah.
No one said that.
No,
okay.
I mean, I think we're going to be removed immediately after the show ends. Unbelievably fun show here at Rally House here, the Glendale location.
Yeah.
They've got 3 locations around the valley, Tempe, Mesa. I know my son got a little Cardinals monster truck.
Nice.
Got tons of gear. I think my wife got a shirt. I know Huddy's already been eyeing some things. You got the turnover change.
Yep.
You are not short on things to rep your team. And as we said, it's not just Cardinals. I'm looking at some sweet ASU gear. You got Diamondbacks down in the corner. You've got U of A repped real well here. GCU. It doesn't stop. So much gear. Phoenix Suns, gear up for the Sun season at Rally House. Come visit them right now. I believe we saw our guy Nick out here. He got himself a $50 gift card. We gave out 5 $50 gift cards. We've got more of that. Rally House, man. Rallyhouse.com. Find the location nearest you here in the valley or wherever you may be.
How are you wondering why you didn't get a $50 gift card? No, you'll never get that. That's for the fans of the show.
I got one.
Yeah, Noah comped himself one, which, selfish Noah.
Yeah.
We appreciate that. Everybody hit that like button. We got a banner Friday. The good vibes are back with this team. Will they carry over into this weekend? Football gods, be with us. We're going to have full coverage pre-halftime, post-game show. Myself, Noah, Britton, and Bo on a football Sunday as the Arizona Cardinals in just 2 days host the Tennessee Titans, looking to go back over 500.
That's right. And I'm talking to our guy, Tyler Rowland, tomorrow on the YouTube page. Guy brings it.
Yeah.
Awesome listen. Knows so much about the Titans. He breaks down the X's and O's. You're going to want to check that out. Like this video, like those videos. Subscribe to PHNX Sports here on YouTube. Follow the beats, of course, PHNX_Cardinals.
Terrence, Fox Body Guy, this is so kind. Brian P., thank you for your membership gift. Very grateful and thankful. Bo and Johnny, y'all are the best. Well, we appreciate that. We get to do this and very fortunate to do so, this community. Brian, Terrence, we appreciate you guys to the umpteenth degree. If you haven't checked it out already, the Brian Baldinger interview that was supposed to air earlier this week, we dropped yesterday as a video on demand. It is a very, very entertaining and really authentic video like Baldy can only do. And it really gets to the root cause of what's going on with this team. So I encourage everybody, go check that out. And, of course, subscribe to PHNX
Should
Sports
be in the press
here on YouTube.
conference like this.
Hey.
You think that's professional?
Hey, JG, number one fan here. I'll always stick with you, JG.
What happened on that interception? No, nobody wants to see that, but we want to see you in this. You can have this entire outfit. Rally House, come out in here and check it out. For Emma and Noah behind the scenes, my family for coming out. Johnny and Huddy crushed it out here. Of course, the staff here at Rally House. Thanks for putting up with us. We'll talk to you pregame on Sunday at 12:30. Don't miss it on PHNX Cardinals.